We do things differently at Art of Brill. For instance, we steer well clear of the well-trodden path of SMART objectives. They're perfectly fine if you want to be like everyone else, but if you want to achieve amazing things in your life, then you have to elevate to HUGS. Huge, unbelievably great goals. A hug is something that excites you, something that inspires you. It's on the edges of your achievability. It's something that isn't going to happen by accident. It happens because you make it happen. And of course, if you come to one of our workshops, we'll show you how. As the newly installed head of wellbeing at Uppingham College, I wanted to introduce HUGS to the students. To make it palatable, I started to ask some searching questions. First, what do you want to achieve in your life? Something that genuinely excites you. Second, can you visualize this in great detail? If you can visualize it, you're more likely to get one step closer towards that dream. Is this a physical thing, intellectual, social, romantic? Thirdly, what are the steps to getting to where you want to be? And lastly, have you got the courage to take some action? And what are you going to stop doing to find space to do the things that are important on that list? The students love the hug concept. I'm blessed to work with an amazing generation of learners. Their hugs were awesome. But the thing about huge goals is exactly that. They're huge. Sometimes some people didn't know exactly where to start. And sometimes some people didn't have any huge lofty goals at all. So I figured that if their goals were at the madness end of the spectrum, or that they didn't have any at all, then maybe we should start with SUGGS. These are teenagers. They didn't get the madness reference as I danced to baggy trousers around the classroom. But SUGGS are small, unbelievably great goals, a series of 90-day challenges which will propel our students towards their hug. So how did this work for me? I looked at all of my life and thought, what are the things that I'm in control of that I can make my life better? I asked some of the students to give me some ideas. They came out with some interesting ones, from doing a somersault off a diving board, learning the capitals of the world, or even learning to juggle. So I thought about it for a second. I thought, well, maybe I'll have a go at this juggling thing. So I had some juggling balls and I took them out one day onto duty. And I wasn't a juggler. So I started just practicing and practicing. But I didn't know what I was doing really. And the juggling balls just fell everywhere. And you could imagine what a couple of students were like as they were walking past. They would laugh. But as the weeks went by, something strange happened. Eventually, one student came up to me and he said, "Sir, I can juggle. Would you like me to teach you?" So could you imagine me now? I'm a teacher, I've got some semblance of responsibility. And a student who, from the eyes of his peers, didn't. But all of a sudden there was a role reversal. So he started to teach me how to juggle. And I went from 2, really quickly, to juggling 3. But it didn't stop there. Because I still had another month left of my challenge, he said, "How about we have a go at 4? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't." So I had a go. What he couldn't understand was the joy that I had in my face because I was learning something new. But I was learning it from him. But did that lead me to happiness? Yes, I was more content. But I think, interestingly, the bigger thing was the relationship that I got from this young man. So what did I decide to do? I decided to look at other areas of my life. So I chose social connection. Sometimes people think it has to be about achievement all of the time. For me, it was about my growth in my social group. Can you extend your friendships to reach out to someone that you haven't spoken to for far too long? Can you take one step on the ladder to learn something new or develop an old skill? And what would that skill be for you? But then, 90 days later, come back and ask yourself the same question. In the area of the life that I've chosen to work on, how fulfilled am I now? And even better, if you work with others, is there someone who wants to complete a similar challenge to you, that you can support each other along the way? If you're in a school, can you get your students to work with you on the challenge in the same way as I did with a student who just volunteered his time? And then you can almost have this, who can learn or do this thing the quickest? Imagine the social connection when you and a colleague, a friend, a student have gone through similar learnings. But nothing worth doing is easy. Our collective learning so far is that a huge goal sets the direction of your journey through life. SUGGS are the simple steps along the way, 90-day milestones, checkpoints about who you are becoming and what you've learnt along the way. Hugs and SUGGS. It's total madness, but it works. Best wishes.